Close your eyes. No, keep them open. You'll need to watch where you step. It's Tuesday, April, maybe. The Judean sun is a hammer, but you're shivering. Why? Because your left earlobe just slid off into your palm like a piece of overcooked fruit. Gross. I know, but the smell is worse. It's not just rot, it's sweet rot. Sickly, like honey poured over a dead dog. You're standing outside the city gates clutching a wooden clapper, and the priest, that arrogant prick, just told your wife she's officially a widow, even though you're standing right there. Life's over. Pack your bags. Wait, you can't. You own nothing now. Just the skin falling off your bones.
So, here you are, standing at the threshold. The dust of Jerusalem, or maybe Jericho, who cares, is stinging your eyes. It's gritty, like someone's throwing tiny shards of glass at your face. You're wearing a robe that was white 3 days ago. Now it's the color of a bruised lung. Why? Because you've been officially declared Metzora. Sounds like a fancy wine, doesn't it? It isn't. It's a death sentence without the mercy of a blade. Leviticus 13. Have you read it? Don't. It's a dry, bureaucratic slog that basically says, if you have a shiny spot on your arm, your life is trash. The priest, let's call him Hananiah because he looks like a Hananiah, didn't even touch you. He used a stick, a long, polished cedar stick. He poked your lesion like he was checking if a steak was done. Unclean, he muttered. He didn't even look you in the eye. Just like that. Poof. Social ghost.
You get a wooden clapper. It's heavy. Sanded rough, so it gives you splinters. Irony, right? Your fingers are literally losing feeling, but a splinter in the palm still finds a way to sting. Every time someone comes within 50 paces, you have to shake that damn thing. Clack, clack, clack. It's the sound of a heartbeat if hearts were made of dead oak. And you have to scream, "Unclean! Unclean!" Your voice is already cracking. The Judean air is dry. It drinks the moisture out of your throat like a sponge. The sun is beginning to dip. 4 p.m., maybe 4:15. The shadows are stretching out like long, skinny fingers pointing away from the city. You look back at the limestone walls. They're glowing gold. Beautiful. Also, they're a giant middle finger. Inside those walls, people are eating lentils with garlic. They're drinking wine that hasn't turned to vinegar yet. They're touching each other, skin on skin. You're touching a rock, and it's getting cold.
Wait, I forgot the best part. The Roman guards. They're watching from the towers. They don't care about the religious mumbo-jumbo, but they don't want the rot near the barracks. They'll put a pilum through your throat if you step too close to the gate. Efficiency. You're caught between a god who rejects you and an empire that thinks you're a pestilence. Fun Tuesday, huh? Welcome to the outskirts. Pack light. You're going to be here a while. Or until you fall apart. Whichever comes first. It's getting dark, fast. The Judean desert doesn't do sunsets. It does vanishings. 1 minute the world is copper, the next it's bruised purple and cold enough to make your teeth ache. You're standing at the mouth of a cave, more like a jagged hole in a limestone cliff, and it smells not just like dirt or unwashed bodies. It's a sweet, heavy, cloying scent. Like a bowl of fruit left in the sun for 2 weeks, mixed with old bandages and wet dog. That's the smell of Mycobacterium leprae. It's the smell of your future. You see a fire. Well, a flicker.
Wood is expensive, so they're burning dried dung and scrub brush. There's a guy sitting near the embers. His name is Baruch, but he doesn't have a nose, just a dark, triangular void in the middle of his face. He's looking at you, or he's looking toward you. One of his eyes is milky, clouded over like a bad marble. "New?" he asks. His voice sounds like someone dragging a rake over gravel. You don't answer. You can't. Your throat is a desert. "Don't worry," Baruch wheezes, pointing to a patch of dirt that looks marginally less rocky than the rest. "The first night is the worst. After that, you just stop caring. Or you die. Usually both."
He offers you a piece of bread. It's hard as a Roman paving stone and covered in a grayish dust. You take it because your stomach is screaming, but then you see his hand. 3 fingers are gone, just stumps, smooth, pink, scarred over. He didn't lose them in a fight, they just decided they didn't want to be part of him anymore. That's the trick of the Great Death. It doesn't kill you all at once. It takes its time. It's a slow-motion car crash that lasts 20 years. Wait, let's talk about the science for a second, because the priests won't. They think you sinned. They think you looked at a woman the wrong way or cheated on your tithes. But it's just a bug. A tiny, microscopic hitchhiker you probably picked up 2 years ago. You didn't even know. It was dormant, hanging out in your nerves, waiting. Now, it's eating your peripheral nervous system. The worst part isn't the pain. It's the lack of it. You accidentally kick a rock as you sit down. Your big toe slams into the flint. Hard. In your old life, you would have screamed. You would have cursed. Now, nothing. You look down. Your sandal is starting to turn dark red. You're bleeding, and you can't feel a damn thing. It's terrifying. It's like your body is ghosting you. You're becoming a passenger in a suit of meat that's slowly rotting away. Think about that. You could walk into the fire Baruch is sitting by, and you wouldn't know you were burning until you smelled your own skin cooking. Clack, clack, clack. Down the slope, someone else is arriving. Another shadow. Another clapper. It's a woman. She's wearing a veil, but it's stained with yellow fluid around the jawline. She's sobbing, but it's a quiet, rhythmic sound. She's been doing it for hours. She collapses about 20 yards from the fire. Nobody moves to help her. Not because they're mean, though some are, but because what's the point? We're all dead here. We're just waiting for the paperwork to catch up. Hey, if you're finding this depressing, good. That means you're still human. If you want to see more deep dives into the absolute worst ways to live throughout history, hit that subscribe button. Diary of Rhodes is all about the stuff they didn't teach you in Sunday school because it was too gross. Anyway, back to the pit. It's 2 a.m. The cave is loud. People think leper colonies are silent, like graveyards. Nope. It's a symphony of misery. There's the lion voice. That's what the Greeks call it. The bacteria thicken the vocal cords. Everyone sounds like a growling beast. Constant coughing. The sound of someone scratching at a rash that won't go away until the skin literally sloughs off. And the rats. God, the rats. They know you can't feel your feet. They're bold. You feel a weight on your shin, a tiny, furry pressure. You kick out, and the rat scurries, but you didn't feel its teeth. You check in the morning, and there's a small, jagged chunk missing from your heel. You didn't wake up. You were being eaten, and you were dreaming about lentils and your wife's hair. Speaking of your wife, she's gone. Legally, she's a widow now. Your kids? They're told you went on a long journey. Your house? It's being scrubbed with vinegar and hyssop. Your clothes were burned. You are a social ghost. In the eyes of the law, you're already in the ground. You look at the stars. They're the same stars you saw from your garden in Capernaum. Orion is still there. The Pleiades are still flickering. It's a slap in the face. The universe is indifferent. It doesn't care that your nerves are being turned into mush. Baruch wakes up. He's hacking up something thick. He spits into the dirt and looks at you with that one good eye. "You still here?" "I have nowhere to go," you whisper. Your voice is already changing. It's getting that rasp, that lion growl. "Good," Baruch says, and he actually smiles. It's a horrifying sight because his lip is split. "Tomorrow we go to the trash heaps. Sometimes the Romans throw out spoiled grain. If we get there before the dogs, we eat. If not, well, there's always the lizards." Lizards for breakfast. You think about the "impuro" shout. You think about the clapper. You realize you're going to have to do that for the rest of your life. Every time a traveler passes on the road above, you have to announce your shame. You have to be the monster in their story so they can feel blessed. The sun starts to bleed over the horizon around 5:30 a.m. The limestone turns that sickly pale white again. The smell of the cave intensifies as the air warms up. It's the smell of 100 open sores reacting to the heat. You stand up. Your legs feel heavy. Your left hand is tingling, a pins and needles sensation that will eventually fade into a permanent, dead silence. You look at the road. A merchant is passing by, leading a donkey laden with silks. He's humming a tune. He looks happy. He looks clean. You pick up your wooden clapper. Your fingers feel like sausages, stiff, swollen. You shake it. Clack. "Unclean!" you shout. The merchant stops. He looks down into the valley. He doesn't see a person. He sees a threat. He spits on the ground, mutters a prayer, and kicks his donkey into a trot. He's gone. You're still here. And you've got 23 hours and 59 minutes left in your first day. Wait, did I mention the flies? I didn't. There are thousands of them. They're green, metallic, and they love the things that are leaking out of Baruch's bandages. They're landing on your face now. You swat them away, but you're slow. They know you're becoming part of the landscape. Welcome home. It's going to be a long century, or a very short week. Depends on how much of that bread you actually managed to swallow. You'd implore to leave, but there's nowhere to go but the dirt. And the dirt is already claiming you, inch by inch. God, I need a drink. Is it 10 a.m. yet? Feels like it should be 10 a.m. Everything in this valley is stuck in a loop of almost dead but not quite. It's exhausting. You'll see. Give it a few more hours. You'll start naming the rats. Baruch did. He calls the big one Tiberius. Fitting, right? Both of them are just looking for something to bleed dry. Noon hits like a physical punch. It's roughly 12:15 p.m., though time doesn't exist here. Not really. It's just a slow-motion car crash in the desert. The sun is a white-hot hammer, beating the limestone into a glare that makes your eyes throb. The air is thick. It's soup. Hot, rancid soup. You're sitting by the cave mouth because the inside smells like a damp grave and the outside smells like a dry one. Pick your poison. Your hand. Look at it. I mean, really look at it. That scratch you got from the limestone wall 3 hours ago? It isn't bleeding. Not properly. It's just hanging open, like a mouth that forgot how to scream. And there's no pain. That's the terror, right? The silence of your own nerves. You trade your soul for a toothache right now, just to know you're still plugged into the machine. Then you see it, down the path.
A child, maybe 6, 7? She's wandering away from a caravan further up the road. She's got a ball, some stitched-up scrap of leather, and it's rolling. It's rolling toward the line, the invisible border where the world of the living stops and your nightmare starts. She's smiling. She doesn't see the white, scaly patches on your arms. She doesn't see the death in your eyes. To her, you're just a man sitting in the shade. Stop. Don't. You want to reach out. Your heart hammers against your ribs, the only part of you that still feels human. You take a step, just one. You want to save the ball. You want to be a hero for 3 seconds. Baruch screams. It's not a word. It's a wet, guttural howl from the shadows of the cave. He lunges out, tripping over his own necrotic feet, rags fluttering like the wings of a dying crow. He grabs a jagged rock. He isn't aiming at the girl. He's aiming at you. He throws it. It clips your shoulder. You don't feel the impact, but you hear the thud against your meat. "Stay back!" Baruch roars, his voice sounding like gravel in a blender. The girl freezes. She looks up. She sees Baruch, the melting face, the missing nose, the weeping sores. She screams. It's a sound that rips the sky open. She drops the ball, turns, and bolts toward the road, wailing for her mother. The ball sits there, right on the edge, dust settling on the leather. You're shaking, or you think you are. It's hard to tell when your muscles are quitting on you. You realize then, right there, with the sun boiling your brain, that the unclean shout isn't a warning for the healthy. It's a cage for you. You're the monster. You're the thing mothers use to scare children into eating their lentils. That girl's face? That's the last time you'll see innocence without it turning into pure, unadulterated horror. God, I need that drink. This is the part where the reality sinks in, and it's heavier than the stones they'll eventually pile over your body. You aren't visiting a colony. You've been deleted. You're a ghost that still has to breathe. The sun starts to tilt. The shadows stretch, long and jagged like knives. And you realize you're already staring at that dirty leather ball with more longing than you ever felt for your wife's hand. That's the turn. That's when the you from the city dies. The thing left in the valley? It's just a collection of symptoms waiting for the wind to blow it away. 20 minutes of silence follow. Just you, Baruch, and the flies. Tiberius wants the ball, Baruch whispers. He's right. The rat is already sniffing the leather. Welcome to the bottom of the world. Hope you like the view. 6 months of pills. That's the modern price of admission. Rifampicin, Dapsone, little white shapes in a plastic tray that smell like absolutely nothing. No rot, no damp caves, just cold, boring chemistry. We renamed it Hansen's disease because leprosy sounded too much like a curse, didn't it? Science fixed the flesh, but the way we look at the broken, That's still got some rot in it. Anyway, you survived the first 24 hours. Barely. Go touch some grass. At least you still have the nerves to feel the blades. Hit like so, the algorithm knows you're still human. Subscribe to the diary. I'm going to go scrub my skin until it's raw. See you in the next nightmare. Wait, did I? Yeah, my hands feel fine. Just checking. Stay clean.